Hello, beautiful humans. Welcome to The Revolution. I'm your host, Megan Connor, and this is a recap of day 3 in the Brian Walshe trial. Now, I am going into this case cold. I'm pretending to be a juror. I am only reviewing the testimony in court that is available to the jurors. I'm not reviewing any of the sidebar information or any of the motions that have come in before the trial. I didn't watch jury selection. And so I'm only viewing the juror information. And that's what I'm recapping for you here. I've done a day 3 recap already that was very brief, but there was a lot of evidence that came in that I wanted to be able to show you pictures of. And so this is all of the bags of evidence, the trash bags that were gone through by the crime scene technicians. And that's what I'll be showing you today. I'm also going to have daily recaps after every single day of trial, going over all of the details. So if you don't have time to watch court or you don't want to, you'll be able to get all the details here. Now, when the case is finished and the jury goes out for deliberations, I'm going to be inviting my friend Kirsten on to a live show with me where I will lay out my deliberation, but also she's going to then share with me all of the behind the scenes information that I have not been consuming since I am pretending to be a juror on this case. There's a lot that I don't know that's out there, and she is very excited to share everything with me. So you'll get my real-time reaction as that gets shared. For those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. Please take a second to subscribe. It's the best way to support the channel for free. And if you're one of my revolutionaries that's been with me for a long time, welcome back. Good to have you here. You know, you can always count on me to do an in-depth analysis of whatever case that I'm covering. Everything at the intersection of true crime, narcissism, unhealthy family systems, and unhealthy religious systems. So let's get to the testimony of Davis Gould, who is with the State Police Crime Lab, and he came at the end of the day on day 3. I'm going to share with you some of his testimony, and then I'm going to show you all the photographs of everything that we saw in court at the end of day 3. And this makes things look very, very bad for Mr. Walsh. So Officer Gould said that he processed the Volvo that was in the possession of Brian Walsh. He said that there was a hair on the exterior front passenger door handle that he collected. And he said that there was a red-brown stain on the driver's visor in the front and on the front driver floor mat. He said there were also exam-like gloves in the console. There were 16 pairs of rubber gloves, and there was a pair of gloves on the floor in the Volvo as well. Then he said there were 5 areas that tested positive for blood, and those were the front driver's seat controls, the second row passenger floor mat, the third roll was folded down, and it was on the back of that tested positive, and also the mat in the trunk tested positive for blood. Then he said that he went to the Forest Street Recycling and Trash Collection Center, which is where they started to go through some of these bags of trash and then removed some evidence. And I will show you the pictures of that now. This is again from day 3 of the Brian Walsh trial. Okay, so I did watch the trial this day on Court TV, so that's where my timestamps are. And again, I'm sharing these in accordance with YouTube's fair use policy for the purposes of commentary. So this is bag 1, the contents of bag 1. And what we can see here are the pair of hunter boots that Ana Walshe was seen last wearing. This is the black jacket that was spoken about, a pair of socks. They zoomed in on this little white laminated card, which is a COVID card, and then some various other items from, it looks like from her purse. So what they did is they went through these different bags of trash that had been collected, and anything that was relevant to the investigation, they laid out on these white sheets of paper, and all of this evidence got bagged up and brought into the courtroom. So the jurors who are there deliberating are going to be able to see all of this evidence. They'll be given special gloves that they'll be able to handle all of this evidence with. And I'm also going to give a little bit of a warning here because these pictures get much, much worse, and they are rather graphic. So if you don't want to see all of the details of this, it might be better for you to skip this video and come back to the day 4 recap, because this is all that happened at the end of day 3, is that they went through all of these bags of evidence. So you can see car keys, lip gloss. These are 2 bracelets, some cough drops. These are some of the other things that were found in that bag. Now, this is from bag number 2. You can see obviously a towel with some red-brown stains on it that looks fairly obvious as to what that is, and some cardboard with also some red-brown stains on it. In bag 3, there was another towel with some red-brown stains again, and then these were just some miscellaneous tissues with red-brown stains. This is from bag 3. This is a bathrobe with some red-brown stains on it as well. This is from bag 4 that was collected, some slippers with red-brown stains, as well as some miscellaneous tissues and towels with red-brown stains on them. And I want to point out at the bottom, next to the jar, to the left of the jar, is a watch with a leather strap, because that comes up later. So at the bottom of this photo, you can see a pair of slippers, and it looks like some hair that is on the slipper. They're going to do a close-up of these. Again, sorry for the graphic nature, but these are that's why I gave that warning. There's some hair as well as red-brown stains on these slippers as well. And these were also from bag 4. This is from bag 5. These are some carpet samples with red stains on them as well. This one is bag 6, and you can see the wrapper for the Tyvek suit, which is one of those, sort of like a biohazard suit, and the wrapper for some safety goggles and some different kinds of tape. This is bag 6, and more pieces of the rug, basically, that were in that bag. And then that's the actual Tyvek suit that was found, the lower half of the Tyvek suit from bag 6. This is another piece of the carpet from bag 6 that was found. And they were saying that this sample not only had the red-brown stains, but what appeared to be possible human tissue along with that. This is bag 7, and in bag 7, there's a bottle of hydrogen peroxide, as well as the plastic covering for another tarp, and some other various tape and bags from Lowe's and Stop and Shop. This is the contents of bag 8. And you can see there is a roll of packing tape, a measuring cup, a hammer, a hatchet, a pair of snips, a hacksaw, and a pair of heavy-duty scissors. Now, I'm not exactly sure why they skipped bag 9, but they went straight on to bag 10 from here. This is the outside of bag 10 prior to opening it. And inside bag 10 were the bottoms of these shoe coverings that were recovered in bag 10. Basically, you would put shoe coverings on to protect your shoes from getting dirty. And then this was the tarp was found in a trash bag also with some insulation, which I'm assuming came from the hole in the ceiling. So all of the items that were in these bags were taken to various crime labs to be processed. And so we don't really get to know yet what, if any, DNA, fingerprints, et cetera, were found on any of these items. That will be a separate person that will be testifying, whoever it was that tested these items. Now, as this evidence came in, there were many shots of Brian Walsh sitting there. There was a lot of hand wringing, a lot of mouth covering, a lot of fidgeting from Brian Walsh as the bags of evidence were, as these pictures were shown on the screen. And then after this, there was quite a lengthy period of time where the actual physical bags were taken from their place where they were sitting, and the prosecutor would bring the bag forward, give it to the person on the stand testifying, ask them to open it and identify the contents, and all of that was read into evidence. So all of that took almost an hour to bring in all of that, but that was just to get them physically into evidence and give them all numbers. And then again, the jury is going to have the chance to physically examine those items. So I have to say, as a fake juror, that seeing all of that evidence, things do not look good for Brian Walsh. But the judge asks the jury this question every single day: do you still have an open mind? And at this point, we've only heard from the prosecution. We know that the defense has a story or a narrative that they're going to tell. So I'll be interested to hear what they have to say. But here again, the only thing that is going to really help to explain all of this evidence would be, for me, Brian Walsh getting on the stand himself, telling us what happened and telling us why he acted in the way that he did. So there is my super fast recap of the evidence that came in during day 3. I have another recap on day 3 where I talk about the rest of the testimony that was given before this witness. I have already listened to day 4, and that recap will be coming out very soon. And I hope to be recapping day 5 also today, and then I will be all caught up so that we can watch day 5 together, and my day 5 recap will come at the end of the court day on day 5. So stick with me for detailed recaps. I have also done a comprehensive timeline of the case with all of the evidence that we have so far, including the text messages, the computer searches, and all of the cell phone ping location. And I will be doing that in a separate video. It will all be on my Brian Walsh playlist on my YouTube channel, so please join me there. And I'm really interested to hear it in the comments. If there's something I have missed as a fake juror, I want to know. Let me know, and we will see you again soon. Thanks.